Assalamu alaikum. I'm Aisha Arif and my group partner is Amna Imad. And today we are going to present on the topic vehicular ad hoc networks, also known as VANETs. So what basically are vehicular ad hoc networks? This is a technology that integrates the capabilities of new generation wireless networks to vehicles. It is very similar to the previous technology known as MANETs, mobile ad hoc networks. The only difference is that the main nodes of VANETs is vehicles, and in MANETs there were mobiles. VANETs are also known as V2V, vehicle to vehicle, or V2R, vehicle to roadside networks. An ad hoc network is one that is spontaneously formed and it does not depend on any pre-existing infrastructure like routers in wired networks. So when it builds a robust ad hoc network between a mobile vehicle and roadside units that are also known as base stations. The basic purpose of VANETs is to provide an efficient and safe transportation system. Now, coming to the components of VANETs, we can see that there are three main components of VANETs. That it is number one is vehicles. Vehicles are the main nodes of vehicular network, and VANET address the wireless communication between the vehicles and between vehicles and the infrastructure access points known as the RSUs or roadside units. Next comes the infrastructure. Infrastructure relates to the outside environment and include the roadside base stations. These base stations are the roadside units and they are located at dedicated locations like junctions or near parking spaces. Their main function is to increase the communication area of the ad hoc networks by reallocating the information to others and to run safety applications like low bridge warning and accident warning. Next come the communication channels. The main communication channel is the radio waves that are a type of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths longer than infrared light. Radio waves have frequencies from 190 gigahertz to 3 kilo gigahertz. So this is the basic architecture known as C2C, CC architecture of vehicular ad hoc networks, car-to-car communication consortium. So we can see there is an in-vehicle domain, ad hoc domain, and an infrastructure domain. So in the vehicle domain, it composes of an OBU, the onboard unit, and AU, the application units. The connection between them is usually wired and sometimes wireless. However, the ad hoc domain is composed of vehicles equipped with OBUs and roadside units. An OBU can be seen as a mobile node of an ad hoc network, and an RSU is a static node. An RSU can be connected to the internet using a gateway that can be seen here. And RSUs can communicate with each other directly or via multi-hop as well. There are two types of infrastructure domains, RSUs and hotspots. This is the hotspots. So in the absence of RSUs and hotspots, these OBUs can also communicate with each other using cellular networks like GSM, UMTS, etc. So basically, all the information is present in these RSUs, the roadside units or the base stations present, and these vehicles can download the data from or to the RSUs anytime they need it. Next comes the communication in VANETs. There are three types of communication in VANETs. The vehicle-to-vehicle communication, as the name refers, it is the communication between two vehicles or a group of vehicles that can communicate with each other. The other communication includes the vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. Uh, it refers to the communication between a vehicle and the base stations that are positioned in close proximity within a fixed infrastructure. Next comes the cluster-to-cluster communication. In VANETs, network is split into clusters that are self-managed group of vehicles. A base station manager agent enables the communication between two clusters. So there are different applications of VANETs, and it basically aims at building an intelligent transport system. We can use VANET to reduce the traffic congestion, improve the traffic management, improve traffic law enforcement, achieve road safety, reduce fatalities, reduce environmental impact, and it can help vehicles to get the information related to the weather, as well as it can provide safety, it can provide congestion information related to the road as well. Next comes the pattern of communication. The dynamics of VANET's communication results in nodes to sometimes obstruct one another. It is quite obvious in a wireless system, a slight obstruction in the line of sight between two communication nodes can degrade the communication. It is said that a single obstacle can cause a drop of over 20 dB in received signal strength when two cars communicate at a distance of 10 meters. It is also found that tall vehicles would significantly relay messages better than short vehicles. Moreover, beacon is one of the most important communication modes. This is used to advertise the presence of a car to its neighbor cars. The sending node uses a beaconing to update its position, speed, or identity continually to other available nodes for awareness purposes through a single hop communication. Other communication modes include geocaching. Geocaching refers to the process of communication where a node sends the message to a specific geographical area in which the message is intended. For example, an example of such region could be the information that is related to a flood is sent to a particular area while accident information is sent to another area. So this geocaching communication is based on it is based on areas. Next comes unicasting. Unicasting is the process of forwarding unicasted traffic from a source to a destination. This type of communication is destination specific, and it is only intended to a unique address. Next comes information aggregation. As you know, the nature of vehicle ad hoc network is that all nodes within the range have the capacity to receive the same messages at relatively the same time. So the network experiences high communication overhead as each node attempts to broadcast newly acquired information. So a data aggregation method is needed to represent the critical information. This communication method aggregates all the critical information into one refined critical information to reduce the bandwidth requirements as well. Next, my group partner, Amna Himad, will present it to you.
So I'll be discussing. So I'll be discussing the characteristics of YNets. So the very first characteristic is dynamic topology. Dynamic topology means that the YNet environment has a constantly changing topology because of high mobility of the vehicles. So the connection between two vehicles traveling with average suburban speeds limits in opposite direction lasts for a very short time. So in order to overcome the dynamic topology, we need to come up and implement the mobility modeling accurately. The next characteristic is the frequent disconnections. The link connection between the vehicles in VANET has frequent disconnections because of frequent change in the environment or due to the movement of the nodes. The next is the predictable mobility pattern. In VANET environment, most of the vehicles move on predefined roads and highways. This allows the use of predictable mobility patterns in a network design. Moreover, nodes in VANETs do not suffer from power or storage limitation as in the other sensor networks. So this can be utilized for efficient processing of complex and computational hungry routing security mechanisms in the network. Next, we'll be discussing the vehicular network challenges. There are several challenges that are faced by the VANET networks. For example, sensitive information is shared in VANET, which can, because of which VANET can become vulnerable to various attacks. Moreover, there's no authentication and association measures. Uh, None is provided by the wave standard due to fast network establishment need. Hence, there is no privacy. Like there are very high chances of threat to privacy. So it's very much easy to attack due to infrastructure-less model. Moreover, connections intrusion is very easy due to frequently changing topology, obstructions, and interferences from the environment can occur and the route will break. Prerequisites for vehicular ad hoc networks. So one of the prerequisite is authentication. Authentication gives you an assurance that the information or the message that that is being generated uh, is generated by a genuine user. Moreover, then comes cross-layering and reliability. The data received in communication should be correct and factual. A reliable transport service should therefore be provided as far as on the head of the reliable network. Designing a suitable cross-layer protocol involving transport and routing layer in VANETs is being beneficial because it boosts applications. The next prerequisite is integrity. The information received should not be altered by any unauthorized user because then such alteration can harm the system and cause serious casualties. Anonymity. Most of the time owners are driving vehicles in such environment, so a security measure must ensure privacy of all genuine nodes. Availability. These systems handle urgent data, so data should be available to all authorized users easily and efficiently. Then comes the delay handling, that safety information is very much time sensitive, so latency should be avoided and handled. The rest are the confidentiality, consistency of data, high mobility, error tolerance, latency control, that the information shared in the network is time sensitive. So to achieve real-time restraint and cryptographic and other algorithm used in security must be fast and efficient. And then comes the key management, which requires creation, maintenance, and distribution of keys so that the data is handled carefully. Types of attacks in VANETs. There are several types of attacks in the VANETs. For example, monitoring attacks, and the prerequisite for monitoring attacks is authentication, anonymity. Then there are social attacks, timing attacks, application attacks, and network attacks, and the prerequisites are listed in the table as shown. Let's move on to the security solutions. So in order to overcome the privacy issue, preventative measures, for example, ID-based system can be ID-based system measures like ID-based system can be taken in order to overcome the attacks like location trailing, etc. Then there's a measure, for example, in IP information handling. in order to overcome the problem of availability, and the creation of cipher to overcome the problem of integrity and confidentiality. Authenticity is another problem that can be overcome by registration, opposition verification, radio resource testing, etc. The rest are listed in the table. Then there are solutions like ARAN to overcome replay attack, impersonation or eavesdropping, and SEAD, Ariadne, SAODV, etc. Conclusion. It can be easily concluded that for vehicular ad hoc systems, the communication being wirelessly seriously poses a great threat on the security and privacy of data. As the wireless medium is unguided and ad hoc systems are infrastructureless, this requires strong routing protocols as well as high encryption techniques for the management of data so that the privacy remains intact. This VANET is going to turn out to be the networking platform that would support the future vehicular applications and help in achieving the actual smart transportation system, provided that the technology advances are made use of. So these are the references that we used for our presentation. And this was the end of our presentation. Thank you.